Hi Islanders, I'm Feathersong and I am finally getting back to doing another video. I know it's been a while. And no, this isn't going to be a Christmas video. I just happen to be standing in the Christmas land on one of my saves. But this video is going to be a tutorial on how to build a steel farm for beginners or intermediates. Anyone who hasn't built a steel farm before and would like some guidance on how to do it. It's not going to be a huge farm, but it is going to show how you can have it make ingots and bolts and rods and plates. But before I get to doing that, I just wanted to show you a glimpse of this island. It's one of my alts, but if you are interested in seeing me do a tour of it, let me know and I'll be happy to do that. But for now, I need to go find a spot where I can build this steel farm, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I am behind the castle where there's plenty of room. And the first thing I need to do is to build a platform. I'm going to use stone because I have a lot of it. And I have the forge hammer, which is going to make it easy for me to build a platform quickly. Alrighty, so let's see what you are going to need for this. You don't have to have a tier 4 workbench because you don't have to have anything tier 2. But I do recommend that you get tier 2 corner conveyors if you possibly can. So anyways, go to factory. Obviously you're going to need some steel mills. That takes iron ingots and gold ingots. So nothing too major there. You'll need in-out chests, which requires a medium chest, some conveyor belts, and some iron ingots. Some regular conveyors, which needs steel rods and iron ingots. You need steel, but you make these steel rods on the anvil. You're also going to need some filter conveyors. Those require cry iron, more steel rods, and iron ingots. Steel press. You're going to need some copper plates, some copper rods, and some steel rods. And some smelters. You're going to need some steel rods and a pink sticky gear. Like I said, you don't have to have the tier 2 conveyors, but for the corners I really do recommend using them if you possibly can. That's really the only thing that I would recommend getting a tier 2 for. So for every 2 steel mills, you're going to need 1 smelter, 3 coal totems, 2 iron totems, 6 conveyors, 1 left conveyor, 1 right conveyor, and 1 filter conveyor. So you just determine how many steel mills and how much materials you can gather ahead of time to start your steel farm. And you don't have to have like a ton to start with. So at the very beginning, what I start with is a conveyor belt, totems, smelter, and filter conveyor, and corner conveyors. Alright, so it doesn't matter exactly where you start, so put it like that. Leave a space there, or if you want to put it on the edge, you can just add another stone brick, or stone block, I mean, or whatever block you are building on, just whatever you have the most of. So you're gonna attach your smelter to that, and then from the smelter you are going to attach the filter conveyor, and that's not in the right spot. You need to spin it around 3 times so that that white arrow is pointing out. Then from that you are going to put, I guess I should have done this a little bit further away, but that's fine. A straight conveyor. I'll just put some more stone blocks over here. And then, let's see, a left conveyor, another straight conveyor, and you can use tier 2 if you have them, if you want to, And then let's grab a steel mill. There we go. And then on this side, you are going to put the right corner, right conveyor, one straight conveyor, and then your next steel mill. Because this is as close as two steel mills can be put next to each other. So that's the configuration. Then you are going to put, you need more stone. You are going to put a straight conveyor. If I can get it to go the way I want it to. There we go. And a straight conveyor. Now, from here, you are going to want to make like a channel. So you just cut this out here. And what I do is I put one block underneath. See how there's one block there. And from that one block, I build this row that's one down. Just keep building it across because we are going to put 4 conveyors. I mean, not conveyors, steel mills. So you want this channel. Alright. And so once you've got your trench, you need to put a conveyor right at the end of the conveyor from the steel mill, and another one, whoops, that's not the right spot, another one right there. And what's going to happen is these 2 steel mills, their steel is going to move this way towards the castle, and in between those 2 conveyors you can put an in-out chest. And the in-out chests, you need to put steel in the first slot, and then you can put anything in the other slot, something that you have a lot of that you don't need, like stone blocks or something like that. And next, you can put 2 more steel mills, but if you notice, the one that is the shadow of where I'm putting it is not the same as the one to the left of it, so it needs to be rotated. And then you can place it as close as it'll let you to the other one, and put a conveyor, and then put your next one, whoops, make sure you rotate it, and rotate the chest. Now, these 2 steel mills, I want the steel to move to the right here, opposite, away from the castle. So I am going to put a conveyor at the end of each of these steel mills that is pointing in that direction, and put a in-out chest in between them. Make sure that's also going in the right way. And then another in-out chest, because you need some space for the red bronze, because it's not going to go very close to the steel mill. In between these here, you can just put some kind of blocks or something if you feel like you want to block it off so that you remember that they are going in opposite directions. And the reason why I'm doing it like this, they're going in opposite directions, is because the steel mills going in this way, I'm going to make steel ingots, and the steel mills going this way, I'm going to make steel bolts. So let's continue building this. So we got a conveyor at the end of each, and then the one on the right gets a left conveyor, and the one on the left gets a right conveyor. And then the one on the right also gets an extra conveyor right there, because if you remember, that's the way our filter conveyor fits. And again, you just rotate it 3 times so that the white arrow is facing towards the steel mills. And We're like reverse engineering this compared to the first one where we started with the smelter. So next we need the smelter and a, whoops, golly jeepers. Oh, wrong direction. To get to the back of the castle. Hi, Goldie. I just need to go back here and in here. And hopefully one of these windows lines up with the... Yes, here we go. Alright. As we were doing, we need a conveyor. So at the end of this here, I'm going to put some in-out chests. So let's put down some stone. And an in-out chest. And you could put as many chests as you want or as you can make. More is better because then you don't need to empty it as often. So what I usually do is put 2 chests, and then at the end of that I do corners. So this needs to turn right, that's a left. Turn right and then turn right again. And I find turning the screen, so the direction I want things to go in is like going forward from my point of view. So put a couple more. And another thing that I do is at the end, like I would actually put a few more in-out chests, but at the end, what I do is I leave it empty. I do not put a regular chest at the end of it, because what that does is if you don't empty these in time, then the ingots will start to build up and they will be sitting there on the conveyor and they will be despawning. But if you just let these get filled up, if you let the ingots just fall down into the void, you won't have any ingots building up and you won't have to worry about despawn. But if you make sure to empty your chests often enough, then you don't have to worry about that at all. Another thing that I like to do, sometimes the ingots want to jump the track, so to speak. So I put something on either side there, and they also don't like going around corners. So I put blocks on the inside and then also on the outside, of the corners, up to the filter conveyor. That way, any ingots that decide they don't want to turn the corner, they'll be forced to. So these two are all set, and so we can put down our totems. We will need, obviously, a coal totem for the smelter, and actually I'm going to remove these that I put down. A coal totem for each steel mill. The coal totems used to give out a lot more coal before, and so I did not need a coal for each steel mill. But lately, for some reason, they've been producing less, and I don't want my steel mills to stop. So, oh, I forgot to put down iron too. And iron I put on either side there. So it's 2 irons, and then the coal. And hold on, I've got a phone call. Alright, so this is going, and soon some steel will be made. Alright, so it's going to go right through the chest. So let's get these going. At the end of this, I want to make a lower platform. To put the refinery on. Okay. So we can grab the, I mean, not the refinery, golly gee, the steel press. Alright, and so there is the steel press, and it needs a mold, and we are going to do bolts. And it takes 10 steel ingots to make a bolt. And when the bolts come out, they need a chest to go into. And I put down all of those regular chests, so you can use tier 2 or you can use regular chests, whatever you have. And now that we've got the refinery set up, we can do our, let's start with the iron. Do our 2 irons and our coal, and a coal there, and a coal there, and then some safety blocks, I call them. Down here as well. And I forgot to put stuff in here, so steel ingot, and then fill it up with stone. Come on. Experiencing some lag. Put in 1 slot of steel and the rest stone. So when the ingots fall, they will go right through these chests and into the steel press, and we've already got 2 in there. Now, you'll notice we have a lot of platform here that we really don't need, and I like to basically get rid of the excess. I also like to remove unneeded blocks, so like where these clay blocks are that are keeping the iron from going off track, the blocks underneath that aren't needed, so I get rid of them. Because I don't know about you, but when I build my islands, I often hit the block limit, and so doing things like this help me to not hit the block limit so soon. And if you see right here, I've got some blocks dancing around. That means I've got the conveyor in wrong. So, fix this conveyor and replace the filter conveyor. Rotate it. Alright, now hopefully things should be moving correctly. It's a good idea when you are building to check and make sure everything is working properly. And I have Greg's hammer, so I can chop some blocks quickly. And it's okay that it removes some blocks underneath the steel mill, because there's only like 1 spot where the steel mill needs to have a block or 2. So it's okay. So removing some more unneeded blocks. I literally just chop everything because I don't plan on needing to climb around on these. And again, I can remove some blocks under the steel mill. Technically, blocks can also be removed underneath conveyor belts, but sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. Now, however, I am going to need to be able to walk over here to empty that chest, so I'm not going to chop all the blocks. And, alright, so we've got our first 4 steel mills down, and we can put the next 4 right on the opposite side over here. So they'll be facing each other, and the other ones will also be dropping onto these same conveyors. Alright, sorry about that. I had to rejoin in order to get rid of this stuff here. So what I am going to do is put down a conveyor. To put a space in between the 2 rows of the in-out chests. So I need to put down some more stone. just a few blocks. Alright, and so we need a right turn again. And then I can put those 2 chests back down and have that so it drops down into the void, and then I can have this block underneath that, so feel a little bit better about that. So we've got 50 ingots so far. Normally I would put tier 2 chests down here, but I'm just showing you that you don't have to. Alright, so now I'm going to build the mirror image of this over here. Of course, as soon as I restart the video, a butterfly has to land in my base. Anyways, now I am going to do a second level. The second level is gonna, be the same as this, except that the ingots will only be going in one direction. So all 8 steel mills, their ingots will all be going to a different steel press, and that steel press is going to be making plates. Because plates take a lot of ingots, so but we need to determine how high we need to go to build our next floor. So put some blocks over the steel press, and then put blocks on top of that, and that is where your next layer is going to go. You need to have a space under there for, remember how this channel down here goes, we need to have extra space down there to be able to do the same thing. I want the channel running down this one to line up with the channel going down the one above, so I am going to cut channel that lines up. And then we need to put the block under it. Oops. Alright, that's good enough. Now I need to get up there. I'm just going to make stairs. Make it easy on myself. Okay. Now that we have our channel lined up, we need to also have our steel mills lined up. So I think right there is where the steel mill needs to go. So fill that hole back in because I don't want that hole to actually be there. And get our conveyor belt. And I don't want anything to fall off, so we will lock that up like that. We do one chest, one conveyor belt, one chest, and again, these are all going in the same direction this time. Conveyor belt, chest, conveyor belt, chest. Don't forget to put a mold in your steel press. We're going to do plates. Makes 50 steel ingots to make a plate. Alright, and that is the second floor completed, except for putting my bumper blocks on. Which is something that you don't have to do, but you can if you want to. I just know that I've seen them fall off occasionally, so I'd rather just have them. Alright. Except for some trimming. Also, I'm going to get rid of these extra blocks. And let's see, do we have any plate? We have one plate. And 1/5 of another plate. Alright, so if you want to put a third level on, and let's say that you don't want another steel press, you want the steel mills from the third layer to also go into this steel press, I will show you how to do that now. And of course, you know, if you have to start out smaller, and this can always be added to. Alright. Remember to leave an extra space under there for the channel, as I call it. Alright. And again, we need to find that middle channel, which I think it's one off from where I put the stairs. Yeah, click that. This time it's actually important that your third level channel lines up with your second level channel, because your steel is going to be falling down. Because I want to be able to see where the conveyors go. Actually, I don't need to. I may not look like I know what I'm doing, but I really, really do know what I'm doing. Trust me. I have a friend that has a t-shirt that says that. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. I need one of those t-shirts. Alright, what I am going to do is, wherever there is a conveyor, I am going to break a block to let myself know. Too close. You already know this one. Alright, so now I know where all of the conveyors are. the ingots are going to come off of these conveyors, and they are going to drop it down onto the conveyor in the channel down there. So let's place more conveyors, making sure they're going in the right direction. And I realized that I actually don't need the channel. Since this floor is going to be done differently. But before we do that, let's get all of our steel mills laid, or at least as many as I have. How many do I have left? 4. So I won't be able to do all 8, but we will do the 4. And I'm sure you'll be able to figure out from that how to do the rest. Alright, so be easier to build from below. So this spot right here is where the conveyors are going to drop the ingots. And you can make this out of anything. I like to make it out of glass just because I like to watch the things fall and make sure that they're falling properly. So what you're going to do is you're going to make a tube. For the ingots to fall down into. So that is the first tube. I should actually get these going so you can see them in action. Alright, I don't have enough filter conveyors for all of them, but we'll get these 2 going anyways. Alright, so let's fire up these 2. And of course, if you wanted to keep building this taller and taller, you can. You just keep on doing it and building taller and taller tubes. You don't have to do what I did here. Hold on a second. There it is. Anyways, you don't have to have 2 of these on top of each other making different things. You could have just one on the bottom and all of the steel mills empty or going into that one steel press. And you know, if you just want to make plates or whatever, you don't really. I suggest if you're going to make 2 things that you make bolts and plates, because the steel rods you can make on the anvil, and since you are getting steel down here, you'll have steel to be able to make steel rods on the anvil. So that's basically, get into the sunshine so you can see me. That's basically how the steel build goes, the steel farm. Hope it helps you out. Thanks for watching my videos, and I'm sure I'll post another one someday. Bye guys.